Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I am so excited because we are going to be doing a one braid tutorial featuring LA Girl Cosmetics. Let me just say, because I'm always upfront with you guys, this video is sponsored by LA Girl, but one, I was already going to do this video. It was on my list of videos to do. Two, I have been using LA Girl for years. If you guys have been with me for a while, you know that I've been using LA Girl for forever, probably a little over 2 years at this point, and I love their products. They're such great quality. They're super affordable. And if you guys have watched any of my drugstore makeup tutorials, you know that I feature a lot of LA Girl in there because they really are a great brand and their products are some of my holy grails. For today's look, I created this really classic smoky eye. I think it is perfect and super universal for literally anybody because it's an all matte look. And I love this look. I think it is perfect for a girl's night out, a date night, or just for every day. I mean, I know it's a little glam, but I would personally wear this for every day because it's not too much. And really the star of the show in today's video are these new eyeshadow palettes from LA Girl. They actually launched today as you guys are watching this. I will leave a link down below. They're going to be available at Ulta. I think these are going to be a huge hit this year. I'll show you guys what they look like, but they are amazing. They're really great quality, super pigmented, very blendable, easy to work with, and I love this packaging. It's so sleek, and like for this to be so affordable, it's like, so I'm gonna just do some quick swatches and go through them very quickly so that we can jump into the makeup, of course. So the first one, which is actually the one that I used today, this is the Nudist eyeshadow palette. Oh my god, this palette is perfect for every single day. I love the mixture of mattes, shimmers, and satins in here, and I also love the fact that you have some warm tones, some cool tones in here. It's just like a really nice classic everyday palette that you could wear for neutral looks or more bolder and dramatic looks. And then the other palettes that I have are, some of them are a little bit more colorful, so you can really switch up your looks, add pops of color, wear this for different occasions, special events. And then the next one that I have is Surreal Dream. This is going to be so perfect for spring and summer. I love the colors in here too because they are different than your traditional palettes, but they're going to be very wearable, which I'm all about. I'm not really big on color, you guys know that, but these have the perfect amount. The next one that I have is Wonder plus Lust. This one is literally screaming to me spring and summer. Love these teal and warm tones in here. This is going to be really nice maybe for a pop of color on the lower lash line or all over the lid. So I'm going to definitely be featuring the other palettes in a future makeup tutorial, so be on the lookout. And then the last one is another favorite of mine, of course, because it's a bunch of warm tones. This one is the Get Feverish eyeshadow palette, and you have some really nice like orangey, pinky, purpley tones in here which are stunning, and these are some of my favorite colors to work with, so love this one as well. So yeah, check the description box below for all the details on the eyeshadow palettes. Let me know also what some of your favorites are from LA Girl down below in the comments. I have personally used about 90% of their makeup products. Like before this video, there was only like 3 or 4 things that are brand new that I've never used before, which I do show you guys in the video today, but in general, everything else I've used before and I love. So I hope you guys enjoy. Don't forget to grab a snack and let's jump into it. Okay, so to start off this look, of course, I'm gonna do my brows first, like always. I'm gonna be using the Shady Slim Brow Pencil in the shade Brunette, and I'm gonna be outlining my brows. I love this pencil. If you've been with me for a while, you know that I've actually been using this for years. It's one of my go-tos. It has a really nice fine tip, and this is a dupe for a lot of higher end brow pencils. I don't even buy high-end brow pencils anymore because I feel like there's so many great affordable ones, and this one is great. So I'm just using this to outline my brows. I don't fill in my brows with pencil anymore. I just prefer to outline and then use a pomade. It just is what works best for me. Then for pomade, I'm going to use their brow pomade in dark brown. This is another favorite of mine. This has a really nice formula. So it's just a traditional pomade, but this color also is a really good shade for me at the moment. I've been really into a darker brow, so I really love this. So I'm going to be using the 207 brush from LA Girl. If you watch me, you know that I literally use this in every single video. This is just such a great brow brush. I don't know what it is. It's just perfect. So I'm just going to take this and fill in the rest of my brows. And this also comes with a spoolie. So I kind of spoolie through as I go, just to really disperse the product evenly into the brows. Okay, I just cleaned up the brows and we're gonna jump into the eyeshadow, of course. I'm gonna be using their Pro Primer. This is their HD eyeshadow primer. I've actually never used this before, so I'm excited. So it's basically just kind of like a concealer stick, or I should say it kind of looks like concealer on your lids. So I actually never used to use eyeshadow primers. I would always just prime my lids with concealer, but I found that eyeshadow primers really do make a difference. when it comes to doing your makeup, especially with bolder colors. It just really helps to make things pop, just last longer, not crease. So, okay, this is nice, and it doesn't feel tacky, which is good too. I like how this is a concealer shade because it really cancels out everything and it just gives you a nice clean base. Okay, so for eyeshadows today, I'm gonna go in with the Nudist eyeshadow palette, and I'm actually gonna be taking that soft brown shade and I'm gonna be applying that right into my crease. These colors are super pigmented, so make sure you tap off the excess and you start off with a little bit of product at a time. I feel like the colors are definitely more vibrant when you actually apply them versus swatching or even just looking at them in the pan, but they're super easy to blend. See, like that's a perfect transition color. I love it. So I'm gonna build this shade up quite a bit. When I do my transition color, I always just apply the color on my lid. It doesn't really make a huge difference, especially because I'm gonna go in with some darker shades. Because some people were like, why do you always do that? I just like to. I just like to have the transition go everywhere. So today's look is gonna be all matte. I just really wanna do something sultry and just kind of like universal for everybody. So I'm gonna go in with that other transition color. It's a little bit darker than the one that I just used, and I'm gonna be applying that also on the outer crease. Very lightly, I'm gonna just kind of feather that color in. I'm gonna add product as I go. You see that pigment? Like it's so nice, and these are matte. And normally some matte shades, not all of them at the drugstore, can be a little chalky, or just in general. Matte shades I feel like are a little bit more challenging sometimes than shimmers, because with shimmers you can always just add some like setting spray just to really make them pop, but with like mattes, you can't do that. I'm gonna take a smaller blending brush and I'm gonna pick up that chocolate brown, which is very, very dark. And I'm gonna also gradually add that to the outer corners. First impression, that eyeshadow primer is nice, and I like the fact that the colors are really staying true to themselves and they're really vibrant and pigmented with it, because sometimes with concealers or just like concealer shades, the colors don't pop as much versus just using a traditional eyeshadow primer, which is what I've been using when I've been using these palettes, so it's nice. I do like it. Now with a different blending brush, I'm gonna take the black. Now this is also very, very dark. I feel like this brown even kind of looks black. That's how dark it is. So I'm gonna just take this ever so lightly and kind of like run that on my lid a little bit, just to kind of give me that smoky liner effect. I'm gonna go in with some winged liner today, but I wanna just do this just to really make this look darker. This is such an easy smoky eye. Really, all you have to do is just start off gradually, build it up, and then just keep blending as you go. So easy. You can see it just gives you that nice, like, kind of like a messy liner effect. I'm debating if I want to do some lightness in the inner corner because I'm kind of really feeling this darkness. Okay, let me just go with it and see what happens. I'm gonna take that cream color in the palette. I'm gonna apply that right in the inner part of my lid. See, okay, yeah, I like that because it adds a little bit of lightness to that area. And I'm gonna go in and blend. I should have did the cream before I did the black, but whatever. If you really want to make that pop more, you could always add concealer and cut your crease, but I really just want a light, very light pop. I don't want it to be too light because I still want to keep the matte going on, but I like that little bit of brightness that it adds to the lid. I think it's really pretty. So now I'm just applying some eye tapes just to help with my winged liner. Okay, now I'm going in with this fine line felt tip liner. I think I tried this before, but I don't remember. I might have like a while back. So I'm gonna just go ahead and use this. It's just like a pen liner. Love the fact that this liner is more on the matte side. I cannot stand a shiny black liner. I mean, depending on the look that I'm going for, but like whenever I'm doing a look like this, just very traditional, I want something matte black. So I do like how it's not shiny. This is actually really easy to work with. I typically use liquid liners now, but this was nice and I like it. So I'm gonna apply a quick coat of mascara because I am gonna do falsies today. This look just calls for it. So I'm gonna go in with the Flash Big and Bold mascara. And by the way, I love LA Girl's packaging. It's so sleek and beautiful. And this has a really nice big ginormo wand, which I also love. I'm gonna go ahead and just pop on my lashes and then I'll be right back and we'll move into the skin. Okay, lashes are on. Now we can move into the skin, which is one of my favorite parts. Honestly, I love face products. I feel like it really just transforms the whole look. So I'm gonna start off with the Pro Prep HD Moisture Nourishing Face Primer. I've actually never tried this before, so I'm excited because I love me a good hydrating face primer. My skin right now is pretty normal. I mean, it gets dry depending on the weather. It is pretty cold out, but it hasn't been too bad lately. So I'm gonna just apply this kind of on the bottom portion of my face. It smells like a moisturizer. Feels like a moisturizer. That is really, really nice. It literally feels like a lightweight moisturizer. It's not too heavy on the skin. Doesn't have any glitter in it. It's just hydrating. Okay, now for foundation. This is actually one of my holy grail foundations, and this is the Pro Coverage HD foundation. This is just their original. They also do have a matte version, which I love, but my skin is just not really as oily anymore as it used to be. So I go for more mattifying foundations like that in the summertime, in the spring when it gets a little bit warmer, but just for an everyday basis, this is a beautiful foundation, really nice coverage. It's long wearing and it just looks super natural. Like, I just love it. So this has been one of my favorites for quite some time. I'll be using my LA Girl sponge with it. You can see it has a nice angle, so this is really good for pretty much anything. Concealer, cream contouring. I love it. Okay, so for foundation, the shade that I have is 644 Natural. This is actually my perfect shade at the moment. So I like to just apply it onto the sponge. I do about 2 pumps and I'll just pounce this into my skin. I love this foundation so much. This is like a perfect foundation for all year round for me. If you guys watched any of my previous makeup tutorials from probably the past 2 years, I've used this foundation in several tutorials all throughout the year because it truly is a nice foundation for summer, for fall, for winter, because it's just the perfect natural finish on the skin. It's not matte, it's not dewy, it's perfect. So for concealer, I'm going in with the Pro HD concealer, and I have this one in the shade Natural. So if you guys aren't familiar, this does come with like a squeezy tube, and I really like it because 1, it's convenient. 2, this is really, really nice for cream contouring as well. But it also is really nice for everyday too because it's very creamy and it blends really nicely into the skin, and it gives you some really nice medium coverage. It's not super full coverage, but you can build it up. But it's nice for every single day. I also like to really concentrate the concealer right underneath the winged liner because it really kind of makes that pop a little bit more and it makes it look like sharper. I'm gonna just take a smaller concealer brush and I'm gonna just kind of blend in the inner corners and just right underneath there. because the sponge is a little big for that area, so I like to just kind of concentrate the product a little bit more. So I just set with some translucent powder underneath my eyes, and I'm gonna go ahead and set the rest of my face, and I'm gonna use the Pro Face HD pressed powder, and I have this one in Creamy Natural. So I'm gonna just really press it into the skin. Just for a little bit more coverage and smoothness on the face, since this is such a full coverage look. I'm just gonna press it in all over, and when you press the powder in, it gives you a little bit more coverage versus just kind of swiping. I will swipe my powder in if I just want something really, really light and quick and easy. Now I'm gonna go ahead and do a little bit of bronzing. So I actually have this LA Girl, let me not say LA Girl. I always do that in my One Braid tutorials. It's just a habit. Okay, so this palette is like a blush, bronzer, and highlighter palette. So you get 2 blushes in here, a bronzer, and 1 highlighter. I love palettes like this. They're super convenient when you're traveling or if you're on the go and you just don't want to like dip into a bunch of different colors. You kind of have everything in here all in one. So I'm going to be using the bronzer to bronze my skin. Just going to go really, really light. This palette I have used before. I really, really like it. It's like a really nice soft formula. It's not muddy or anything, just super smooth. Now I'm going to be using a powder. So this is basically just the same powder that I was using, except it's a darker shade. This one is in True Bronze. I'm going to be using this to contour a little bit. It's still pretty warm, but it's a little bit less warm than what I just used. So one of my favorite brushes is this one for contouring. It's their 104 brush. This brush is perfect. It's like a stippling brush, but it's tapered and it goes upwards a little bit. So it's like perfect for that natural soft contour look. I did a video on my favorite makeup brushes last year around this time actually, and this was one of them. I'm just obsessed. I'm gonna tap off the excess and I'm gonna just take that bronzer and really concentrate it towards the hairline right there. I also wanted to really quickly shout out this Pro Contour Powder palette that they have. This little palette is great also for contouring. You can see it's a little bit more of an ashy tone. It's still warm, but they also do have, I believe, 2 other shades in these kind of palettes that are more ashy if you want something that's a little bit less warm for contouring. So these are great. I just wanted to mention that. Okay, now for blush, I want to keep it really, really simple just because my eyes are matte and I really don't want to take away from that. So I'm going to use these single blushes right here. So these are what these look like. One is in Just Natural, the one over here, and then the other one is Just Peachy. Never used these before, but we're gonna test them out today. And I'm gonna use a 103 brush, which is just a classic stippling brush. Love brushes like this. They really make the product go on so smooth on the skin. I'm gonna just mix the 2 blushes. It's really, really light, so it gives you a light wash of color, as you can see. That's pretty. I'm gonna take a little bit of this color too in the Spice palette, just because I love blush. I used to not really be a fan of it, and now I cannot do a look without it. I think it's just so pretty. Then for highlight, I'm gonna be using their strobing powders, which I've also used before. This one is in 100 watt. They're so pretty. And they have a bunch of different shades too, which I really, really like. I'll take a little bit right on my chin as well. I love the way the chin highlight looks in pictures. I think it looks really beautiful. All right, I'm gonna zoom you guys back in and we're gonna jump into the lower lashes. So I'm first gonna start off with the Shockwave Neon Liner. This one is just in black. I love these liners. They actually have a bunch of different neon colors, but today, since it's such a classic look, I'm gonna just stick to black. These don't smudge on my contacts. They last a really long time. They're super creamy and they don't irritate my eyes, which is always a plus because I have super sensitive eyes. So I'm gonna do that, and then I'm gonna take some shadow to really smoke it out. I'm gonna first start off with this shade over here, and I'm going to be applying that on my lower lashes. take some of this chocolate brown color. I'm gonna really press it on the lower lash line. I'm gonna take some of that matte cream shade and apply that on my brow bone as a highlight. I love this shade. It's so muted out, but like, I still love it. I know we have an all matte smoky eye going on, but I think I wanna do a little bit of a pop of shimmer in the inner corners. So I'm gonna just take the shade right here, and I'm gonna be applying that in the inner corners. I'm gonna jump back into the Flash Big and Bold Mascara for the lower lashes. Okay, for lips, I don't even have to read these. This is the Perfect Precision lip liner, and this one's in Cafe. This is one of my favorite shades. I have a couple other shades. I love these lip pencils. They have so many different colors, and this is the most comfortable wooden lip pencil formula that I own, to be honest with you. So many wooden pencils break on me or they feel really drying, and this one is the complete opposite. So I love these. So I'm gonna just go ahead and line my lips, of course. And then I'm gonna top that off with the matte lipstick in Snuggle. It's like a really pretty, like darker mauve tone nude, and I love it with this look. It's so pretty. And the final thing I'm gonna do is go ahead and set my makeup with the Pro Setting HD Setting Spray. In the meantime, while the setting spray is still wet on the skin, I'm gonna add more highlight. These are intense. Like, I love them so much. There's like no glitter. It's just so nice. And then once I do that, I like to go over top with my sponge and kind of just blend through the highlight, just to give it like a soft look. And this just really presses the product into the skin really nicely. Let's add more setting spray. The spritzer on this is so nice. Like, it just disperses the product evenly and it feels so good. All right guys, so this is the completed makeup look. I absolutely love this look. There's something about a matte smoky eye that I feel like is just so flattering, and it looks good on everybody. And this look could be really for a date night, or just like, I don't know, just a classic glam. It doesn't have to just be for nighttime. I feel like honestly, I'd wear this during the day because I feel like it's not too much, it's not too dark. Obviously for me, this is more of a neutral matte look, but for some people it might be really dramatic, but you can always tone it down to your liking. So I really hope you guys liked it. I will leave all the products that I use down below. Thank you once again to LA Girl for working with me today. I love you guys, and I will see you very soon in a few days in my next one.